Diving into Therapy Thursday, everybody. So what is the first step to having a better relationship with the food that we eat?
Well, licensed therapist Shannon Ricks and dietitian Josie Iroz is here from Modern Eve, joining us to share our tips that we can do to have a better relationship with food, because I know a lot of people struggle with that, right?
It's so true. A lot of people are struggling with their relationship with food. I think because there are so many diets out there and different ideas about how we should eat, how we should not eat, and it gets really confusing. So we have kind of learned and mastered what is the best psychology to have around food.
Shannon, before we dive into that, can you talk about Modern Eve and what you do there?
Yeah, so Modern Eve is a clinic of therapists and a dietitian. We all specialize in eating disorders, body image, that type of thing. So if that is a mental health need of yours or a physical health need of yours, come on and visit us.
Well, isn't that important to have a holistic approach where, okay, you can tell someone all day long of what to do, how to do it, what's the relationship, but if you don't have a dietitian to help you through of what are some of the foods that might be positive in your life, then you're missing something.
Exactly.
Right?
I think this is the ultimate team here, to have her doing kind of the logistics of how to eat, what to eat, and then me doing some of the mental health stuff and like some of those blocks about why we eat and not.
I think it's interesting to call this topic a relationship with food, because whether you know it or not, we all have one.
We do.
Right? And it can be dysfunctional and it can be a good relationship. So first you say prioritize listening to hunger and fullness cues and responding to them. How do we do that?
Yes. So your body can give you cues in many ways, not just grumbling in your stomach, but also some lightheadedness, maybe not thinking as clearly, maybe tired. Your body is telling you it needs some fuel. And for us to go, no, you don't need anything is really disrespectful to your body, and it will create a really jaded relationship already with food. So listening to that, stopping when you're full, starting to eat when you start feeling hunger cues.
And Josie, I want you to jump in. Eating regular and consistent meals, and sometimes people need ideas of exactly what to eat in those times, because some people don't eat at all, and they have to be reminded as well. So talk about the consistency of knowing, while you listen to your body, of consistent eating.
Yeah, definitely. It's very important. I like to say that a happy metabolism is a fed metabolism. And so if you are skipping meals and you're not consistent with meals, then it's really hard to feel those hunger fullness cues that Shannon was talking about. Like, you just won't feel them. And then because you're not feeling them, there's a disconnect with your body. It's really difficult to have a good relationship with food.
You also say eat all the food groups, and that means no fad diets. I mean, when you talk about some of those, people are skipping this or skipping that.
Totally, yeah. Your body has one job, and it's to keep you alive. And your body needs all the different nutrients from all the different food groups. And so if you're skipping out on that, it's really easy to feel really chaotic around foods and to feel like you have this disordered relationship, and it's not very peaceful. And so including all those food groups with every meal can really help with that.
And a reminder that food is to fuel your body. There is a purpose for food, especially if you're exercising more. You need that energy to fuel your body.
Yeah, definitely. I see a lot of clients that are trying to over-exercise and under-fuel, and that also kind of creates a chaotic relationship with exercise, because it's doesn't feel very joyful. And part of that is because your body's just not being fueled appropriately to actually do that exercise. We find that people have better relationships with food, exercise, and their bodies when they start fueling it appropriately. Yeah.
Shannon, what about this last tip? Give up the bathroom scale.
Yes, numbers really hurt people's relationship with food, whether it's looking at the scale, measuring things, calculating calories. The numbers really disconnect you from the relationship with your body. I don't think that anyone needs to be owning a scale. If your body is getting larger or smaller, we can know that in way different ways, way simpler ways, than stepping on a scale every morning isn't a very healthy, mentally healthy habit.
How do you get someone who is so, maybe, this word obsessive, or they're just so used to the scale? How do you even approach that idea to someone who is very connected to that number?
Yeah, so we usually start weaning them off the scale is usually the easiest thing. So if they're doing that as a daily thing, sometimes even several times a day, we start cutting it down to maybe once a week, then maybe once a month. Some people, it helps to just put a piece of duct tape over the number. They can still weigh themselves every morning, but they're not going to see the number if it's really habitual. Yeah, we just want to distance ourselves from that number.
I threw mine in the garbage.
Out of
Years ago. Got rid of that guy years ago.
Proud of you.
Tell me how many people, I want our viewers to feel like they're not alone. If they're struggling with this dysfunctional relationship with food, how many people tell you every day, this is tough?
Yes, all the
Really?
time,
Yeah,
right?
like nodding.
all
Yes.
the time.
It's so common. And again, we live in this culture of dieting and how our appearance just matters so much. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I see it constantly.
Oh yeah, constantly. I mean, honestly, all my clients, every single one of them. I mean, the reason they're seeing me is because they have a chaotic relationship with food, and so I see that all the time. And that's also really rewarding because it's like very, very exciting when you have a client that's like, guess what? I'm like, what? I just bought a cantaloupe today. And I'm like, oh, that is so exciting.
Totally. Or I had
It's
chicken
just
Alfredo
very-
for the first time in 12 years.
I
and
bought
you're
a
like,
latte.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like very
It's so
exciting.
cool.
Yeah.
While you're not alone out there, there's so much hope, and both of you as a team really help people who are struggling out there. Where can people find more information?
Yeah, so moderneve.org is our website. You can get a free 10-minute consult with Josie here or one of our therapists. And yeah, we're on social media, TikTok, Instagram, so.
All right there on your screen, and now on our website at abc4.com/GTU. You two, thank you. Thank you so much for being on the
Thank
show.
you.